6 months away from the presidential election.
And a recent poll from the New York Times shows voters are more likely to vote for former President Donald Trump against President Joe Biden in several key states. And our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp joining us live from the U.S. Capitol with more. Good evening, Rachel.
Good evening, Mike and Eva. So political scientists tell me that polls being taken this far away from the election might not be the best way to gauge the temperature for how people will vote in November, but they do say they've seen enough of these polls with some similar results. They believe it could be a trend. In a recent survey from the New York Times, Siena College, and the Philadelphia Inquirer, it shows voters are more likely to pick former President Donald Trump over President Joe Biden in 5 of 6 key states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada. One key state, Wisconsin, shows Biden has a small lead.
These findings actually correspond to a lot of what we've seen. The president's been down in these battleground states since last year. It continues to be an issue for him.
Dr. Todd Belt, George Washington University professor and director of political management, says these key states are really important this time around.
The Sunbelt states of Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia are ones that are going to be really difficult for Joe Biden. He's just not doing so well there, with possibly the exception of Arizona. I think that might be helpful. But it's the Rust Belt states that are really the key for Joe Biden. He's brought back this blue firewall that they've had up there with Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Of course, the president heralds from Pennsylvania. He wants to win it back. With those 3 states, it's possible for Joe Biden to eke out 270 electoral votes, but he's really got to make sure he gets those.
Belt says the economy remains a top issue for the election. He also believes Republicans will talk about crime and immigration, while Democrats will talk about abortion and threats to democracy as some of the issues the parties will push.
We're still a long way from the end of this, and there's a lot that can happen in between.
Now, even though the people surveyed in this favored Trump, they were also asked in this survey if there was an election held today for the U.S. Senate, would they favor a Democrat or a Republican? Those people surveyed in places like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona all said that or the majority of them said they would favor a Democrat over a Republican by just a few points. Mike, Eva, back to you.
Rachel, thanks. Now to